It's heater season, so we have loud ambient music in the background. Not music, heater.
Sound effects.
Blasting heater. I always edit the heater out. I mass noise reduction it, and then it's usually you don't hear it, but we hear it through the whole episode.
Yeah.
Hey, we have a problem.
We do?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
As a podcast, we have a big problem.
Okay.
I don't really know what to do about it at this point. I think it's daily guest requests now.
Oh, okay.
We're getting a lot, and I don't even open them anymore.
And notes, so apparently nobody's been paying attention to the...
No, I don't know where they're finding our email, but they are not paying attention. And I'm going to have to start maybe posting in every single description under the podcast, no guest submissions.
Yeah.
Because it is a fucking problem. It shows up on my phone. It'll show like the first couple sentences. And a lot of them start off with, oh, I loved your episode about blah, blah, blah. And it's usually like our most recent episode. It's like, well, I'm glad you're listening. Maybe if you listen a little deeper, you know we ain't taking fucking guests.
Yeah, right.
Or they just assume we'll take them. I don't know. And some of them seem prodigious guest or fucking some kind of cool guest. What was the one let me just fucking glance. Let me glance so if they listen, they'll know I knew that they submitted, but I still... Because it's too goddamn much. Too goddamn much. Who is this?
No, like I say, if these guests would like to try to make some donations to the podcast to get a better mixer and stuff like that, maybe some things could happen, but...
Grease the wheels. This one's got a Hulu show. This one was on Jimmy Fallon. Like, I don't... Cool, man. Yeah. That's cool. I appreciate that you want to... Remember we had the guy from The Karate Kid? We got messaged like 3 times wanted to be on. One of the guys nobody knows from The Karate Kid, by the way. Not Ralph Macchio or even Frank Zappa. Not Frank Zappa. What was that dude's name? The bad kid.
Yeah, I can't think of his name now.
It started with the Z. Hold on, I just got
We can maybe get that old guy that's on Cobra Kai who just bit his co-star. He's probably,
Ooh, this is an interesting email I just received on my personal email.
Okay.
Can I read it online?
Boner pills?
Oh, yeah. This is neat. Okay. Hi, Caleb. I came across your book on Amazon. Not a good start.
Yeah, right?
I don't have a book on Amazon, so not a good start.
It'd be nice if it did.
I came across your book on Amazon. Such impressive work. The concept, tone, and reviews really stood out. Ooh, I got good reviews. I got really good reviews.
Nice. That you didn't know about?
I didn't know about the book. How has the response been from readers so far? Not the best. Almost non-existent.
As if it wasn't there.
It's like I'm going right under the radar. Are you doing anything special right now to promote it on social media? Can't say that I am, but I probably should be. I specialize in creating... This was perfect timing. Yeah. I didn't have a cold open other than bitching about the guest thing, and that only gives us 30 seconds. I specialize in creating short, authentic book talk style videos that help authors reach new readers in a natural, story-driven way. Have you ever tried that kind of promotion before, or are you focusing more on traditional marketing? Haven't given it much thought. I probably should. My publisher, Fake News Weekly, they probably would like it if I promoted more. I'd love to learn a bit more about your goals and see how we can make your story stand out even more. So one thing, I'm going to go ahead and say Laura Collins sent this to me. One thing, Laura, that I would be interested in is to know the name of the work that you're referencing.
Yes.
Say the name. Say the name of this book. How did you find me? Did you come from my website?
Give me a character's name from the book.
I knew something was amiss when there's no subject to this email. Normally, someone who's in professional services of any kind has a subject in the email. Book promotion, for instance.
Yeah.
This person did not. Oh, this was unverified visitor to my website. So it's for my authors. I see this button, the delete button I hit.
Yes.
That's deleted for life.
Now, like, how many people you think, but though will go like respond or
if they had a book, perhaps. But at the same time, if you're not naming the book, I am not following up with you. Or
you're saying anything about the book other than like, oh, the tone and feel of the characters were great. Like,
awesome review. Is this a blanket statement you send out to every WordPress site?
Probably.
I would imagine. So that sucked ass. But yeah, anyway, as far as guest request, like I said, we are not open. We are invite only because our mixer is shitty and broken and we just don't have the time. It's very hard to schedule these things anymore. And I'm actually dreading our guests that we're having coming on soon. Not because I have anything against the guest or anything. It seems like it'll be a fine episode. But
the process.
I don't remember how to do the fucking setup anymore.
It's been a while, yeah.
Like with the other laptop and setting it up, and I just remember some horror stories we've had of things going awry, and which is one reason why we stopped doing it in the first place. So hopefully it goes well, but we might have to get like, I don't know, like an Ashley or somebody, just be like, hey, can you hop on real quick to see if we still remember how to do this?
Right.
I'd say Nick Obergon, but then we'll be on for 4 hours.
Right, yeah.
We'll have to record an episode. So yeah, folks, that's where we stand on guest requests. This will be a Gothic episode we're doing today.
I was wondering what we were doing.
This is probably going to be out in November. It's probably the one that's going to drop before that interview, actually. But I figure it's going into the stick season, so we're still Gothic-y, I guess. Because we have the Medusa Zone and the Boatmore Butcher episodes dropping the next 2 weeks, I believe. And then I think we're in the clear for episodes. So we'll record this, and it'll be great, and everyone will cheer. And there is other news.
Oh, there is.
I didn't submit us, but I keep getting something about some kind of fucking podcast awards.
Oh.
Is it Podcast Tonight? The ultimate prize, what awaits? Maybe it's a separate one. I think it was multiple podcast awards, but Podcast Tonight, I don't know what that is. What was the main one I saw? I might have deleted it. I don't know. I kept getting emails for some kind of fucking podcast awards. And it was like, blah, blah, what you need to know about nominations and blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, you can nominate yourself. And then another one made it seem like we were already nominated. And I did not look into it.
No.
I'm not promoting it. I don't care if we win. Because you don't win money.
No.
I don't want to be the best drunken pen named writing podcast on the internet.
Right. With a yellow and black logo.
Yeah. That airs on Tuesdays and only Tuesdays. I don't know. I don't give a hoot.
You know, I guess we could say another bit of news is by the time this comes out,
we both have books out.
Yes.
Oh yeah, your Hellbound book, Campfire Stories, is out right now for purchase.
Been out for a while now.
It's just Campfire Stories, right?
Yeah, it's not like a volume or anything.
If you go on like Amazon, you just look up Hellbound books, Campfire Stories.
Yeah.
That's what I did, and it came up. Cool cover. It's a bunch of Girl Scouts with their heads cut off around a fire.
Mm-hmm.
Gruesome.
Yes.
So Spencer has a story, Pumpkin Patch,
Slaughter Patch,
Penis. I'm trying to think of that shitty name we had originally.
Oh, like Pick a Pumpkin Patch.
Pick a pumpkin.
Pick your pumpkin or something.
Something dumb. Yeah, so Slaughter Patch is a much better name you came up with for your story. So that's cool. I am also, I think it's Halloween comes out. So it should be out now when this episode drops. Ethereal Nightmares. I don't know. I forget what it's called, but the Omnibus collect, like the trilogy collection. It's all 3 volumes. I'm in the first volume of my Asher Kang story, but I also have an interview, and I am the only bonus story. I got a brand new story in that. So 3 times I'll be featured in this book.
Yep.
So worth
hat check.
Yeah, and all my stories are long. So my news story, the bonus story, I think is 7,000 or 8,000 words. So that's probably like, I don't know, 10, 20 pages or something. And then my Asher Kang story, what was that, like almost 15,000?
Something like that, yeah.
So that's like a 50, 60 pager. So you're getting your money's worth if you just want to read
an interview.
Me. Yeah, and all the other stories are really cool too. I read the first volume, and the first volume was fucking excellent. So yeah, and I have an interview, and I don't know how, that's a pretty long interview. So check that out, and you won't be sorry. The only downside is because it's so big, I think it is like $25 or something.
But still, you figure you're getting 3 volumes worth of short stories.
Yeah, and I was told that because of how girthy it is, the publisher is having trouble coming out with a hardback edition. So it might only be paperback. And I'm sure you could get like a Kindle or something if you want.
Right.
But anyway, we'll be talking Gothic literature of some sort today, and then, I don't know, after that we'll have an interview, I guess. And then maybe we'll smooth sailing it. Well, actually, I think Bill Maher wanted to come on too.
No, yeah.
Well, we got the guy who writes for Bill Maher, so it would only be fair to have Bill Maher defend himself.
Yeah. We just assume that
assuming the interview goes the way I wanted to,
yeah.
We'll have to have some rebuttal from Bill Maher. Anyway,
maybe he'll have us on the show.
Well, that guy also wrote for Craig Ferguson. Is that what it was? Is he the Scottish guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd probably rather talk about that than Bill
yeah.
Maher. Fucking Bill Maher. But anyway, yeah, the Gothic stuff and music, and yeah, enjoy. You're listening to the Drunken Ben Writing Podcast. I'm your host, Caleb James. With me, as always, Spencer, the Parisian Pimple Piercer Church.
piercing?
Yeah,
so I'm not popping. I'm just piercing.
You were a pimple popper from some other
Yeah.
Pamplona or somewhere. You were popping pimples at one time, so now you're piercing them.
That has to take a certain amount of skill, I would think.
Yeah, that's probably more professional because popping, you're not supposed to pop them, but you can pierce them, get the pus out.
Well, I was just saying. I was thinking about. Well, I was thinking more like earring piercing, like that kind of route. Like, and to pierce it without, you
mean putting a fucking
like a hoop or something in it? Yeah,
through a big old zit. Ew. Today I actually just really like the name of the website.
Okay.
Under the Cypress Tree.
Oh.
.co.uk. This is Trapped Literary Spectres, the best of Victorian Gothic. This came out October 21st, 2020. Is no author attribution for me to give credit to. But most of it's just a list of like lines from some books. So I'll be reading those. It does have a cool introduction. I'll actually read the introduction. So this is from the folks at Under the Cypress Tree. This is their words, not Caleb's words. I am probably not this articulate. Nobody does ghost stories quite like the Victorians. They also did some creepy things.
Yeah.
And they ate like mercury and stuff. They weren't the smartest, but they were good at writing things about death. You know why? Because everybody died all the time.
Yeah, it was very common.
Always dying. Perhaps it's because death infiltrated every aspect of Victorian life. People died at home. They were buried in overflowing graveyards. Disease was rife. Putrescence was prevalent. Grave digging was real, and public mourning was ritual. Jesus, what a good time to be alive.
Yeah.
I consider the Victorians as a society to have a much more intimate understanding of death than we will ever have. It's so interesting because like that society was going on right at the same time that the Wild West was happening.
Yeah.
Like the Civil War and the post-Civil War and then the Wild West. So Wild West, also everybody died.
Yeah.
But it
just
was
differently.
But it's such a different genre. Westerns and Victorian stories and Gothic stuff. And then it's weird because we have American Gothic. You have your Edgar Allan Poe's and stuff. So you have these weird combinations of like, oh, you have Edgar Allan Poe, but then you also have fucking Westerns.
Yeah, see, that stuff always, like, I always gets jumbled around in my head whenever I try to think about stuff. And it's like, oh, yeah, like, hey, but how you were saying, like, you know, these two big things were happening at the exact same time, but you wouldn't think it.
No. And they're not that far apart.
No.
Especially like again, like Edgar Allan Poe. And then you think of like, okay, there's Edgar Allan Poe. And then you have like Mark Twain's South. And then you have the Wild West.
Yeah.
And it's all around the same fucking 100-year period. Anyway, but the aptitude of 19th century authors to flourish in capturing everything sinister, supernatural, and suspenseful could also be down to the rise of the Gothic. I like the word Gothic. The growth and popularity of Gothic architecture and Gothic literature in the 1800s went hand in hand. It is best to clarify that Gothic architecture originated in the Middle Ages. Think medieval cathedrals, spires, rose windows, flying buttresses, gargoyles, the works. This architectural style came back in fashion in the late 1700s and was retitled High Victorian Gothic or Gothic Revival. Enter contemporary buildings in the medieval Gothic style, Strawberry Hill House, 1749, and the Houses of Parliament, 1835, among others. I will say this, my favorite aesthetic, Spencer. Not Gothic aesthetic, though it is cool, but when you look in the interior of Victorian Gothic, it's all like those weird flowery red and yellow wallpapers. And like, I don't like that stuff. I like dark academia, which is your dark wood tones. Right. That's what I like. That's what my study in the future will be. Which is complete contrast to my wife's style choices. I hate open modern. Like the modern futuristic look where all the walls are white and everything's open space and all the tables are made of glass and I don't like that aesthetic at all. I don't like the Lex Luthor aesthetic. Yeah.
I would like wonder like why back then, like why goggles everywhere? Like why were they supposed to be like to ward things off? Is it like that like superstition kind of thing?
Yeah,
like that.
It all has like religious roots and shit like that. Something about spirits.
Just being fucking dumb.
Yeah, they're eating fucking mercury to cure things, and that was not the cure for anything.
No.
Often it led to the problems that they were trying to cure. Another layer to add to this context is the growth of urban space. Cities were where social realms collided. Poverty-stricken slums backed onto aristocratic townhouses. Crime flourished and diseases spread while petticoated women ambled through Regent's Park. The city was the underbelly and the manifestation of all the upper classes. Irrational fears came to fruition. Sickness, filth, and crime. Quite literally all just around the corner. Combine all three, proximity to death, Gothic revival, and urban anxieties. However, in the elements that constitute an unparalleled ghost story came together. Death, suspense, superstition, fear. It's the perfect concoction, Spencer.
Concoction.
Fucking nose is itchy.
Oh, like Coke.
I wish. I don't have Coke money. I got a snort. I don't even know what people snort. What's the fucking crushed up Valium? Is that? I don't even know if Valium's a thing anymore. Below are listed my favorite tales of the 19th century, from short stories to poems. These tales trap specters on the page and allow readers to delight in the supernatural suspense over and over again. I wish this person would have put their name attached to this so I could tell you who this person is and why these are their favorites. But I don't think they actually give reasons for their favorites. They just have the lines. So that's why I picked this. So I can agree or disagree with these. First up, Spencer, I just finished reading this. We talked about this for 20 minutes on maybe what's going to be the last episode, the Boatmore Butcher cold open. Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte, which came out in 1847.
See, but I wouldn't think that would have been Gothic literature.
It is the grandmother of Gothic. It is Gothic literature. That's what it's promoted.
I thought
as.
it was more.
We talked about this.
Yeah, but I thought I thought it was called something else. I thought it was
Gothic.
Maybe
Buffoonery.
God
damn it, Spencer. You never listen to me. That's the problem.
I just get all with the lady talk. I don't think
I don't remember. I think we were just mainly talking about some fucking critiques from not from me, but from some douche critiquing me.
Yeah,
I think that's what the main, the bulk of that was. But it's a Gothic masterpiece, as people call it. So here is a line from Wuthering Heights. Catherine Earnshaw, may you not rest as long as I am living. You said I killed you. Haunt me then. The murdered do haunt their murderers, I believe. I know that ghosts have wandered on earth. Be with me always. Take any form. Drive me mad. Only do not leave me in this abyss where I cannot find you. Oh God, it is unutterable. I cannot live without my life. I cannot live without my soul. He didn't actually kill her. I think she just had a baby. That was all a little muddled for me, but
I'd say, what would that have been the line that you would have picked from that book?
You can pick any line. They're all like that. Whole book's like that. It's just a bunch of assholes being assholes, yelling at each other, being way over dramatic on a dirty moor. 4 out of 5. I liked it. I ended up liking it a lot. I just hated every character.
Sinner's garbage.
Garbage. I didn't say Sinner's garbage. It just wasn't my cup of tea. Number 2, Turn of the Screw by Henry James, 1898. I did not read Turn of the Screw.
I've heard of it.
Oh, we all heard of it. And we want to turn that screw. There had been a moment when I believed I recognized, faint and far, the cry of a child. There had been another when I found myself just consciously starting, as at the passage, before my door of a light footstep. But these fancies were not marked enough not to be thrown off, and it is only in the light, or the gloom, I should rather say, of other and subsequent matters that they now come back to me. It's a lot of ways to say nothing. I don't want to read that book. Number 3, The Old Nurse's Story by Elizabeth Gaskell, 1852. I have not heard of this one at all.
No.
So I'm in. Oh, it's a big one. Gotta prepare. It's hard to read these because there's so many M dashes and commas and semicolons, and most of them are just one sentence.
Yeah.
I'm not joking.
Is that whole thing one sentence? That's crazy.
It appears so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Do you find that a trait in Gothic literature too? Just like the big...
I don't even think it was Gothic literature so much as just that era of writing. Of course, I think a lot of these are probably British. I know Wuthering Heights is. I don't know if Henry James was British, and I don't know if Elizabeth Gaskell's British. It's hard to say. I turned towards the long, narrow windows, and there, sure enough, I saw a little girl, less than my Miss Rosamond, dressed all unfit to be out of doors such a bitter night, crying and beating against the window panes as if she wanted to be let in. She seemed to sob and wail till Miss Rosamond could bear it no longer and was flying to the door to open it, when all of a sudden, and close upon us, the great organ pealed out so loud and thundering, it fairly made me tremble, and all the more when I remembered me that, even in the stillness of that dead cold weather, I had heard no sound of little battering hands upon the window glass, although the phantom child had seemed to put forth all its force, and although I had seen it wail and cry, no faintest touch of sound had fallen upon my ears. That was 2 sentences.
No. Much better.
What I like is all the fucking writing snobs will tell you you're never supposed to use sudden, but then they'll praise work like this where they always use when all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I'm getting to the point now where I don't take any writing advice seriously from publishing houses or anything. Like, There's one I follow on Instagram, and they had one today. You're not allowed. You shouldn't say sat or look, or like you have to use some kind of descriptor. And sometimes it's like, have you fucking ever read like Hemingway?
Mm-hmm.
Like we're not sitting here. He didn't just sink into the couch. He just sat in the couch. You know?
Right.
Sometimes
sometimes it's less is more.
Sometimes there needs to be some kind of action that makes you feel, but other times it's just to move the story along very quickly and it's ignored by the reader.
Mm-hmm.
So if I said Spencer looked to his left and saw a decapitated head floating through, are you thinking about Spencer looking left, or are you thinking about the decapitated head floating?
It's more almost like just like scene direction.
Yeah, but apparently not like a lot of these suggestions. They don't like that. They say agents don't like that. They want you. Spencer snapped his head vaingloriously. I don't know. And again, sometimes that works, but sometimes like
I don't think that would be good in today's market.
Sometimes things just suddenly happen, and you could just say suddenly happen. You can show it if you can, but sometimes you could just say it if it's, again, like in this giant paragraph, that's not the focus. So. 4. Thrawn Janet by Robert Louis Stevenson, 1881. Never heard of this story. By this time, the foot was coming through the passage for the door. He could hear a hand skirt along the wall. That means
the Wawa.
W-A apostrophe. By the time the foot was coming through the passage for the door, he could hear a hand skirt along the wall. I'm assuming it's wall. As if the fearsome thing was feeling for its way. The saws tossed and maned together a lang syne cam are. Am I fucking stroking out? The saws toss and maned together a lang syne cam owner the hills. The flame of the candle was blonde aboot. And there stood the corpse of Thrawn Janet with her gaugram ground and her black mush with the held eye upon the shooter and the gin still upon the face of the leaving. You would have sent the honest Miss Solon was keen upon the threshold of the manse.
You've gone too far. You got to dial it back a little.
I didn't know what the fuck it's saying. Spencer, can you read any of that?
I don't believe so.
This was my problem with Wuthering Heights. There was one main character, Joseph, who spoke in Yorkshire, and everything, even when the other characters were relating what he said to another person, all used the Yorkshire accent, and I could almost not at all understand what he's saying. And sometimes it was paragraphs of that.
Oh, wow.
And this is all written in accent, and I don't know why. So how do I even fucking... He could hear a hand skirt along the wassin, and the fearsome thing was feeling for its way. The sows tossing a man together, the thang hang over the hills. The flame of the candle was blown about, and there stood the corpse of Thrawn Janet with her brown gown and her black mash with the held of it upon the shoulder.
I feel like that almost needs like translated.
Yeah, it's annoying. I'm reading that Laidlaw by William, what's his name, McIlvenney or something? McIlvenney, I forget his name. Laidlaw is the first in that Tartan Noir series I was reading, or I'm going to read. I don't know if I'm reading the whole series. But it's Scottish noir. And some of the characters speak very Scottish. And I'm not having trouble following it, but what I am having trouble with is there's a lot of words, 70s Scottish slang I don't know. I have no clue what they mean. So sometimes I'm just like, what's happening? Now, there was, I only know this because
Who got bungled?
I only know this because we have a lot of friends from the UK. So over there, I guess at least in Scotland, I think in England, pants means underpants, trousers mean pants.
I think I knew that, yeah.
So there was a part where the guy, they found a girl's body and she doesn't have her pants on, but I think she was wearing a dress, and I was confused there for a second. And then it turns out the guy stole the pants and he's holding them, and I was like, "What? How are you carrying around these fucking pants?" I was like, "Underpants, her undergarments." Things like that sometimes gets lost.
Like, why is he just sniffing her pants?
Yeah, he's sniffing her britches. This one I'm more familiar with, and I can pronounce the words. Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, 1843. The bells ceased as they had begun together. They were succeeded by a clanking noise deep down below, as if some person were dragging a heavy chain over the cask in the wine merchant's cellar. Scrooge then remembered to have heard that ghost and haunted houses were described as dragging chains. I really like Christmas Carol. It's excellent. You should read that sometime.
I after you did read it, it kind of make it seem kind of interesting to check out.
Yeah, it's one of those ones you don't even think of as Gothic because it's a Christmas story.
But you figure ghosts and stuff.
It's very Gothic. It's kind of frightening. I think it's the last one on the list, and it's a poem.
Ooh.
Poetry. I'm going to read it like this. Number 6 is Ghost by Emily Dickinson. 1924. Miss Dickinson writes, One need not be a chamber to be haunted. One need not be a house. Ooh. The brain has corridors surpassing material plays. Far safer of a midnight meeting, external ghosts, than an interior confronting that wit her host. All right, I'm going to read the rest normal. It's hurting my soul to do that. Sorry, Miss Dickinson. I'm sorry for besmirching your poetry. I'll read it normal. One need not be a chamber to be haunted. One need not be a house. The brain has corridors surpassing material place. For safer of a midnight meeting, external ghost, than an interior confronting that whiter host. For safer through an abbey gallop, the stones a chase, then moonless one's own self-encounter in lonesome place. Ourself behind ourself concealed should startle most. Assassin hidden our apartment, be horror's least. The prudent carries a revolver, he bolts the door, overlooking a superior specter more near. I hated it. I like that. I like the flamboyant version better I was reading. So what do you feel, Spencer? Any of those tickle your fancy and you want to read them more?
I don't know, like that. I mean, granted, that last one was just a poem, but I mean, that one was pretty good. I like that.
You like the poem?
Yeah. I don't know if I get through the Withering Heights of it all with the...
You would probably get through it if the fucking people didn't all suck so bad.
Yeah. Like I said, I heard of the turn of the screw, but then that what you read of that didn't do it any favors.
Yeah, I did not like that, surprisingly. I was confused, conflicted. I found this real shit article about the best, not the best, 14 eerie and atmospheric quotes. So these are just quotes. I'm going to read the quotes. I'm not going to read the intro. I'm not going to read the website. I'm just going to read the quotes because they're quotes and we can read quotes.
And we need filler.
Yeah, I try to get to 30 minutes. We're only at 28 after I cut out shit.
Yeah.
After I cut out the 20 minutes of me scratching my nose.
Oh, you got to do that, huh?
Oh, I don't want to.
Just a little bit of the pick.
From Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, the Jewish thriller. I am not excited anymore for the Guillermo del Toro Frankenstein movie after watching the trailer.
Oh, really?
The part, like, it seems to focus, at least the trailer does, on Frankenstein chasing Victor.
Okay.
Or the monster chasing Victor Frankenstein. You know, because at the end of that, he, like, chases him through the Arctic and shit. So that's kind of cool, but it didn't look as good as I thought it was going to be. And then I remember I don't actually like Frankenstein. So
yeah.
probably that.
Yeah, I was going to say, after
if
reading...
it's close to the book, I'd probably not going to like it.
Yeah, I was going to say, did the doctor faint at all in the trailer?
A couple times. 4. No, I don't know. So this is from Mary Percy Shelley, Frankenstein. Nothing is so powerful to the human mind as a great and sudden change. Wow. That was Gothic. I really feel the pain in that line. Next up is Horace Walpole, The Castle of Otranto. Nothing of that makes words in my head of acknowledgement. I don't know what that means.
None of that registered.
But you'll like this. 1 wiener, 2 wiener, 1... No. I do. I fear no bad angel and have offended no good one.
Oh.
That's all right. We should probably do... You know what? Because that Laidlaw has so many fucking lines in it. Like that, it might as well just be a book of fucking cool noir lines.
Yeah.
We should do a thing like that. Like an episode where we just read the coolest noir lines.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's so many that I could imagine you would find. But like the ones in Laidlaw are just like, ooh, because they're Scottish. But some of them I don't understand. But some of them are just like, oh yeah, that hits the nail on the head. I'm trying to think of the one I really liked. Fuck. Was it something about a guy's head? I'll remember as soon as we get off air.
Right.
Ruth Ware, The Death of Mrs. Westaway. Have no idea who this is. You can't influence fate or change what's out of your control, but you can't choose what you yourself do with the cards you're dealt. Yeah, that's not very Gothic. Next up, Emily Bronte, Wuthering Heights. I'm glad I read this because apparently everybody loves this fucking book or hates the book, but they all have feelings towards it. Be with me always. Take any form. Drive me mad. Only do not leave me in this abyss where I cannot find you. I think I read that.
Same one. It is the same one.
Apparently that's the only one people care about. Robert Louis Stevenson, Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, which is what I would expected to be on that last list, but wasn't.
Right, yeah.
They picked the fucking...
Have you got around to reading that yet?
I keep wanting to.
Yeah, because I think we both bought a copy of it.
I have a few copies of it, I think. I learned to recognize... I think it's what it is. We always end up reading lines from it on one of these, and then we're like... I learned to recognize the thorough and primitive duality of man. See what I mean? I saw that of the two natures that contended in the field of my consciousness, even if I could rightly be said to be either, it was only because I was radically both.
Yeah.
I don't want to think that's what it is. Which is weird because I really like Treasure Island.
Yeah.
That's all I read of his.
I would say I take it wasn't like that.
Nah, it was a lot of hard, me matey.
Get on the poop deck.
Me peg leg is stuck in his arse. He got stuck arse ways. I don't think that's in there. I think that was in Joyce's retranslation.
Yeah.
Of it. Is adaptation. Silvia Moreno Garcia, Mexican Gothic. This is a genre I always thought would be cool to touch on because the Mexicans do have like a Gothic structure because it's a lot of, Catholics.
Yeah.
So they actually do have like this weird hot Gothic.
I was gonna say, would it be like a darker version of like Cinco de Mayo,
Maybe, I don't know.
They have their like Day of the Dead kind of,
Yeah.
but that's just always kind of like bright and kind of like.
I think it'd be more like those was the Shadow Man from the not Image, not Vertigo, Valiant comics. Was the Shadow Man was like the guy or something?
Yeah.
I think it'd be kind of similar along those lines,
More like New Orleans kind of.
Yeah. One could construct 100 different narratives. It didn't make them true.
Okay, that's it.
Anne Radcliffe, The Mysteries of Udolpho. Her mind, long harassed by distress, now yielded to imaginary terrors. Bram Stoker's Dracula. Blood, I'm going to suck your blood. I am all in a sea of wonders. I doubt, I fear, I think strange things, which I dare not confess to my own soul. I want to suck your tits. That's what he said in the book I read.
Yeah.
Shirley Jackson's The Haunting of Hill House. You should read this one.
Yeah.
Fear is the relinquishment of logic, the willing and relinquishing of reasonable patterns. We yield to it or we fight it, but we cannot meet it halfway. Daphne du Maurier from Rebecca. I think I pronounce her name better every time I read it. Happiness is not a possession to be prized. It is a quality of thought, a state of mind. None of these are got me.
Yeah.
Toni Morrison, Beloved. I keep meaning to read this and I never do. The future was sunset. The past something to leave behind. And if it didn't stay behind, well, you might have to stomp it out. Henry James, The Turn of the Screw. Great.
I don't know if it's the same one.
Of course I was under the spell. And the wonderful part is that, even at the time, I perfectly knew I was. Okay, cuck. Anne Rice, Interview with the Vampire. I don't know if I want to read these because I don't like vampires, but I thought about it. There are a lot of these books. I thought of what lay before me throughout the world and throughout time, and resolved to go about it delicately and reverently, learning that from each thing which would take me best to another. Long 14. Okay, here's one I could relate to here.
All right.
Here's one I might like without having read the quote. Ray Bradbury, Something Wicked This Way Comes.
Oh.
Awesome book. Too late. I found you can't wait to become perfect. You got to go out and fall down and get up with everybody else. These are almost, some of these feel like noir lines, not fucking.
Yeah.
That was it. That was terrible.
Nothing
Gothic about that.
No.
Like all the works of the lines in Frankenstein, and you come up with, and he walked down the hill and started jacking it. I don't know, man. What do you think? You think you want to read some Gothic literature?
Probably. I mean,
I would stick with just Poe for the time being. Read some Poe.
Yeah, I really haven't read that much of him, other than like that small poem collection.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely would like to read some more Poe.
I'm trying to think of what kind of Gothic literature you'd probably like, and I mean, I guess I could consider Dracula kind of Gothic.
Yeah,
I
like Dracula.
Yeah. Poe, though the language is tough, it's still, I think the stories are more interesting than what you might come across with the Brontes and the, I don't know, Robert Louis Stevenson.
Yeah.
The Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde sounds cool, cool. Sounds like something I'd like to read, but then every time we read lines from it, it's like, and then the blasphemous man walked and didn't know the countenance of three ladies abhor, and he walked and then smelled the roses, and three-headed monster came out and ate his butt. That's not it. That's not it.
I don't think it is.
I don't think that happened. I don't know what I'm talking about. Cerberus is a monster of Greek mythology, I think. Anyway, I'm rambling. So that's an episode. Fuck it. Spencer is in Hellbound Books Campfire Stories. Caleb is in Ethereal Nightmares Trilogy Collection. And I have nothing else out. I'm a big failure. Though this is weeks and weeks before this episode drops, I have submitted a bunch of work yesterday. Not yesterday. The last 2 days I've been submitting some works. I'll tell you off air about that.
Ooh.
So hopefully I have a new round of rejections coming in the next year. Anyway, folks, we thank you for listening. You can follow us at DPW Podcast. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at DPW Podcast. CalebJamesK.com if you want to buy books I'm in or read books I'm in. I got links on my publication tab, and that's about all I do anymore on there. Spencer Church is OnlyFans this week. He is in Paris, and he is piercing the giant needle pimples, and he's putting bullhorn rings in them. What do they call that? The ugly ring that girls get in their nose for some reason. Is it just a bull ring or something?
Something, yeah.
I don't know. I don't like those, but I'm not a young lady, so it's not my aesthetics, not my place to judge. Still trying to figure out how to get the Prince Albert to work. Hey, that's a ring through your pee-pee. Ouchie. Anyway, folks, thank you for listening. We'll check you out next week with, I think, an interview, I believe. If not, we'll have an episode of some sort.
Yeah.